Not that I want to give the Trump administration any tips for success, but this needs to be addressed. At Kristi Noem's deposition, Representative Jamie Raskin came straight out and asked her, do you believe Renee Good and Alex Preddy are domestic terrorists? And Kristi Noem, of course, did the Republican word salad, which was, well, there's an ongoing investigation and there are law enforcement risks their lives to, et cetera. And Raskin, as is appropriate in this scenario, said, okay, reclaiming my time and restating my question. Do you believe, with what you know today, that Renee Good and Alex Preddy were domestic terrorists? And again, more Republican word salad and absolute zero accountability. And he said, okay, there's an investigation. Great. But you made the conclusion. You concluded 2 hours after they were killed that they were domestic terrorists and said this publicly. Do you regret saying such a thing before the investigation that you say is ongoing was concluded? More word salad. I offer my condolences to the family. Their lives will never be the same. And then Raskin says, your own ICE director came out and said that there's no evidence that these two people were domestic terrorists. Now, do you regret saying that they were domestic terrorists? Well, there's an ongoing investigation. Word salad, word salad, word salad. And he said, I was giving you an opportunity not just for the families, but for Americans that love the concepts of truth and justice, for you to correct yourself and to apologize for having spoken too quickly about these people, about whom you say there is an ongoing investigation and that you should not have made any conclusions. She absolutely would not own up to the fact that she spoke too soon, and that she may have unfairly labeled someone a domestic terrorist. And the reason that she would not own to that is because they absolutely, like the Trump mandate for anyone who's speaking for his administration is to never, ever, ever admit you were wrong about something. And that is what these idiots don't understand, is that when you admit you did something wrong, when you go, you know what? I was upset about the whole situation. It was a horrific tragedy, and I was upset for my officers, and I was upset for the loss of life, and I was being badgered by these questions, and it was a very high-stress situation, and you know what? I may have spoken too soon. They might be domestic terrorists. We might find that out in the investigation, but you know what? I should have waited until the investigation was concluded before I said something like that. And, we all get emotional from time to time, and that's exactly what happened to me. Do you know how much goodwill that would have bought her? I mean, she's still, scum of the earth and, running an absolute violent clown show, but it still would have bought the tiniest amount of goodwill, at least for me, to hear her say, you know what? I got caught up in the moment and I was upset about the entire situation. And I know that America expects more from their leaders, expects a clear head from their leaders. And sometimes we fall down on the job. And that was a moment when I did. I should not have said that. I apologize for the distress that I have caused the families of these people. And while, the question of whether or not they were engaging in some sort of domestic terrorism remains open, which is absolutely false, but that's what she would say. Well, that question remains open, but I should not have said anything before I had a full conclusion. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address that, Representative Raskin. I mean, really, how hard is that? It's not that hard. And they would have so much more goodwill and so much more power if they would just be humans for a minute and not mindless freaking tangerine drones. But oh boy, if you ever admitted to making a mistake, you'd end up swinging in a cell like little Jeffrey. I guess it's a good thing. Flames that burn that hot burn out fastest. It's the extinction burst. Just hang on.